Welcome, Wildcat fans. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and tonight I'm being joined by Tanner Carlson on the Wildcat Sports channel. We are live from Central City, where the Wildcats are hosting the Edco Vikings. Before we talk more about tonight's game, we want to recognize our sponsor for the Wildcat Sports, Next Bank.
Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned, independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, well, this is going to be a big game tonight. We got
huge game for the Cats here.
Yeah, we got Edco coming in, and Edco on the season is 9 and 15. Or I'm sorry, 15 and 9.
Yeah, 15 and 9.
And just kind of looking over, they got off to they've put together a couple streaks here, and now lately they've hit kind of a rough,
lull.
Yeah, a little
I
rough,
looked at that earlier today
yeah,
too.
So I'm hoping, and they actually just got beat by Alburnett 3-2. So we beat Alburnett 3-2. So that should be kind of a confidence booster that we know we should be able to compete with these guys.
I tell you what, our conference right now, anybody can beat anybody. It's
yeah,
pretty wild.
I mean, yeah.
Top to bottom on our side of the conference. I saw a thing from the Gazette. They tweeted out the other day that their pick was East Buck to win our side, and they haven't won a game yet in conference. So,
yeah,
I mean, literally anybody on our side can beat anybody. So,
just I guess for our sake and just for the audiences, Chesney Preem for Edco is their senior setter, so we're going to be saying her name a lot.
Yep.
She's doing a great job of setting. And then for Edco, just looking at this, but I did notice they've got a girl over there with her leg wrapped. Maybe that's one of their better hitters, so maybe she's not going to be up to par. But they've got 2 sophomore hitters. Kelsey Hansel has 184 kills, and Annie Hoffman, another sophomore, has 137 kills. So those are the two players that the Wildcats are really going to have to know where they're at, and I'm sure one's in the front row and the other one's not. So they're always going to have a big hitter in the front row, and as the Wildcats, we need to make sure that, like the other night when we were calling it, that we can get some blocks and kind of help the back row out by slowing that down a little bit, maybe get in their heads. So
yeah, absolutely. So for the Wildcats here, we have kind of, we've done quite a few of these games now, and I feel like we've played some really good games. Even the other night against a Starmont that we were announcing, and we ended up losing that. We played well.
We did,
but
they
Starmont
just played
great that night.
And we kind of looked a little bit at their schedule too, where they had been playing some good volleyball just of late. So you don't know early on, are there injuries, or because they had that girl.
I know for a fact that they had just switched their lineup.
Yeah.
So they just bumped like 2 sophomores into the starting lineup.
You were talking about that. Yep.
Those girls seem to be sophomore group was pretty good.
They responded. So.
But for the Cats, to kind of give you some statistical leaders here, we have Emma Fritcher, who leads with the kills. She has 97 kills on the season. Her kill efficiency is .15. She has 1.8 kills per set. Also for the Cats, Lacey Hennick has 93 kills on the season. She's got a .132 kill efficiency. If you look at, Sarah Reed is third there with 67 kills on the season, and she's got a .15 kill efficiency as well. So if you look at kind of some of our serve efficiency, we have Leah Weber, who's got a .95 serve efficiency, which is fantastic. We also have Natalie Noonan with a .91. We have, our numbers are pretty good here, Cart, to be honest with you. I could almost point out anybody, but Emma Fritcher, .86. We have Sarah Reed, .856. We have Eva Owens, .825. So I know early on in the year, Lily Kramer, .871, even higher than a lot of the ones I just said. So early on in the year, I know some of our statistics on the serve efficiency were really low in comparison to Springville when we played them earlier, but our girls have been very efficient lately.
Right.
And that's something that, I mean,
it
can kill a game when
Leah Weber's at .95.
Yeah, that was the first one I brought.
And then Natalie Noonan. And I think you got to look at those stats. You got to point out Emma Fritcher has 37 ace serves.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And that's crazy. So hopefully she can get a few more of those tonight. Before the game as the game gets going. We kind of talked about too how Lily Kramer really stepped up with her serving, kind of started it in that Springville and how that she kind of continued that and was really a spark for us. So hopefully we can keep some of that stuff going into tonight's match. We've got a pretty good crowd. They had before we went live here, they had the campers from this summer.
Yeah, well, it was just a couple weekends ago,
okay.
actually,
Yeah,
they had it. So.
Introduced all the campers, so there's quite a pretty good amount of campers here. We got a good Wildcat crowd, and there's a lot of black on the court tonight because Edco's black and gold, and the Wildcats are obviously black and red. So.
And we have a black court.
And we have a black court.
The only one in the state.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's going to be a good thing going here. The Vikings are on the court right now getting their hits in and stuff, and the Wildcats are waiting patiently for their turn. I was just thinking before I came up here tonight, something that we probably should do is that we don't do enough is recognize the volunteers that kind of help with volleyball. This is our, third or fourth home game tonight.
Yeah, fourth, yep.
And we always have Denise Starry on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
And Katie Delaney is the libero, in charge of the libero tracking. And then
Diana Hackman.
Diana Hackman's kind of filling in for me, taking over the scoring position so that we can bring you guys the sportscast here. And then we get line judges, teachers volunteer, and I know it's hard to get teachers to line up.
That's not the job that everyone's wanting to do.
They're not knocking down the door to do that. But Kylie Berg's been kind of one of the mainstays as far as
Maggie Hunderos is our other one tonight as well.
Maggie Hunderos tonight, and we had Rachel Sackett, a new teacher here, fill in for us one night, and Wayne Swanson. We were kind of giving him a hard time on air last game, but he did a pretty good job, and like you said, it's not a job that a lot of people like to go out there and do, and so a lot of times people don't realize the people that are volunteering behind the scenes.
There's a lot more. I've learned this last 3 years as an AD that there's a lot more that goes into a sporting event of any sort than you would really think of. I mean, you got to think of, we still have 3 or 4 people out there in the concession stands as well in the booster club. Mija Kramer, Lynette Kramer, Jess Ingen, Andy Smith that probably set the concessions up for the night like that. And so there are a lot of people that go into running a sporting event.
Home events. And so, we really appreciate parents, and I know the Booster Club, and I'm just going to give them a plug. We appreciate all the things that the Booster Club does for all the athletic programs. And so parents out there, if you're listening and go ahead, and if you haven't signed up, I'm sure that the boosters would love for you to come in and do a shift. And it's kind of fun working the concession stands. Last year, the track team, the girls, we went out and helped at that junior high home track meet. We kind of had fun with it, working out there. And so I know the Booster Club, that's one of their big things, is getting the volunteers to help do the boosters. So we appreciate that. It's a Wildcat family. We always say go Cats, and that's just not the athletes. It's all the people behind the scenes that allow us to have
I will tell you what, that girl over there that's spiking, she is really, I don't know who that is, but she's hitting the ball really hard.
If it's number 6, that's one of their sophomore hitters. So
I was talking to Scott Hansen today at lunch, and he had officiated one of their games before, and he said they have probably 2 of the hardest hitting kids in the conference. He said he goes, if you can test it, you can beat them. He goes, but they have 2 girls that can really hit the ball. So.
Well, and that's going to be the key. She's putting it down, but
she's putting it down hard.
but that's with a perfect set.
Right.
Hopefully maybe they'll have some passing errors and stuff, and we can make it hard with some good serves. And also, like we talked about, if we slowed that hitter down against Starmont by getting some blocks.
Yeah.
And so we've been actually, I don't know if you mentioned the statistics on blocks, but I was pretty impressed with our blocking has been pretty decent this year. If you just look at the stats, we've got Emma Fritcher, I should look at Sarah Reed's got 42 blocks as a sophomore.
That's good.
And then next is Elise Skelton, 36. She's a senior. And then Emma Fritcher's at 26. But sometimes even if it's not a block that you score points off, even if you can just pop it up and slow it down a little bit to give those back row players a chance to, pop it up and just save that point. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how the Wildcats respond to some of that. So if you're just joining us, I'm Cindy McCarthy along with Tanner. We've got about 5 minutes here to go before we get going with the match tonight. Edco's in the house. And we were just mentioning that they're coming into tonight's match, and they're 15-9, and we are 9-12. And so it's going to be a pretty competitive match out there. And Wildcats are on the court right now warming up. And we mentioned last week the Wildcats lost to Starmont, but then they went up to East Buck and beat East Buck in 3 games to 0. And so that was a big win for them. As Tanner mentioned, he was said that the Gazette had picked East Buck to win our conference, and I don't think East Buck's won a game yet. So it's anybody's game out there tonight. And we just mentioned that Starmont does have 2 really, really good hitters. They're both sophomores. And one of them, though, I see, well, she did. Oh, yeah, she still does. She has an elastic wrap around her leg, so I don't know if she's got a quad injury or a hamstring injury. So hopefully that'll slow her down maybe a little bit. But number 6 was really pounding the ball. And so we're going to have to really contest them. So the Wildcats are out here warming up. And a good crowd again tonight on the Wildcat side. We got some of the football players in the house. And there was also a junior high match tonight, and I believe the 8th graders won, and I'm not sure how the 7th graders did. But I saw a parent, I was walking in saying that the 8th graders won and that they're still undefeated on the year. So that's great job for the junior high program, the 8th graders. And I know the 7th graders aren't undefeated, I don't think, but they've been having a really good season too. So congrats to the junior high volleyball team, and I think they play again on Thursday. I'm not sure where their game is, but I'm pretty sure they have a game on Thursday. So we're going here. Wildcats are going to be in their black tights with their new unis that are red shirts with red and black on the sleeves and a black stripe down the side. And Edco's going to be in black shorts also with gray top with black numbers outlined in gold. So a lot of black and gold. I guess Edco's going with the gray look. So we'll see how that goes. So we got about 2 minutes to go. So the Wildcats are just about done with their warm-ups, and then they're going to go ahead and we'll do some serving, and then we're going to get ready to play some volleyball. I think key to our game here is obviously I would guess that Starmont's favored, but we did talk about how the Wildcats are playing some pretty good volleyball, and even though we got beat by Starmont the other night, Starmont really just played excellent. If they'd been playing like that all year, they definitely would have a better record. So I think that Wildcats, even though we didn't have anything to show for that game last week on Tuesday, we are playing some good volleyball. And it should be a pretty competitive game, but obviously they are the favorite team. So I think the key is going to be really just kind of talking to myself here because Tanner had to leave for a minute, but I'm back, Cars. Just kind of talking about the keys to a game. When you play a team like Edco, that's obviously probably favored. They're 15-9. They're not favored in conference standings. No, what's their conference? We are 3-1, and they are 2-2. Oh, okay. And here's a side note. I don't know if you know this yet or not, Cars. No, I probably don't. So the way our conference tournament works is the top 2 teams from the west side and the east side host. Nice. So we are currently tied with 3 other teams for first place. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Mac Valley plays Alburnett today. And we play at Mac Valley yet. We play at Mac Valley on Thursday. Yeah. So, I mean, if we win tonight and Thursday, we basically will host next Thursday. Nice. Which would be awesome. We should get that on the cast if we do. Yeah, for sure. We should definitely add that one to the cast. We will, for sure, yeah. That'd be very cool. So that's a potential home, which I don't think we've ever done, which would be very cool. Mm-hmm. But right now, we would lose the head-to-head to Starmont, who's also one of the teams tied. Because they beat us. Yep. Yeah, and Starmont, the way they're playing, they're probably not going to lose. So they have a good chance at winning this week. 2 games. I was looking at their matchups. They play East Buck tonight. And but you never know, like you said. Right. No, but just looking at it, I think that they'll probably have a one. So we're playing for a lot today, Garth. Tonight and Thursday are very big games for the Cats. And I think we need to also just throw out there that 9 wins. Is that now the tied for the most? That's tied for the most record in school history. Yep. So here's the deal. This is a lot of things going on tonight. Big time opportunity for the Cats tonight. And we so we're playing tonight, and then we go to Mac Valley on Thursday. On Thursday, and then we're home Tuesday for senior night against North Lynn. So we potentially, have
We have opportunities.
A lot of opportunities to get the most wins in a season, and that'd be great.
I feel like the girls are, they want to get it out of the way. Like they would love to do it tonight or Thursday because they've talked about it where it's like, they really want this.
Yeah,
and it's a very cool
tie.
thing.
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of talking about maybe potentially the keys. You can't do that. You're going to.
Oh, shaking my leg there. Shaking the table.
We're keys to the game when you play a good team like this. You really have to minimize your mistakes, and you have to, make them make the mistakes and take advantage of their mistakes that they make. And so hopefully we can not have a lot of hitting errors. We can get some good passes and be able to, take advantage of maybe some mishits on those two big hitters and stuff like that. So hopefully we're prepared and can come out here and really have a good showing and come away with a win here, whether it goes 3 games, 4 games, or 5 games. Denise will get it. Hopefully there's
batteries.
Batteries. Oh, they got it.
They got it. AD job is always making me busy here, Carly. Denise got it figured out.
Got it.
So we're getting ready for some starting lineups here, it looks like. So exciting night here. So Natalie Noonan, number 5, starting for the Wildcats. Number 2, Haley Roush for the Vikings, sophomore. Number 7, Leah Weber, senior, will start for the Cats. So number 3, Chesney Green, senior for the Vikings. So sophomore and a senior for both teams.
Yep, so far.
Junior, number 17, Emma Fritcher, starting for the Cats. And then Kelsey Hansel, number 6. Sophomore, that's the girl that was hitting it in the warm-ups. Yep.
Big hitter.
Number 20, senior Elise Skelton for the Wildcats, checking in. Number 7, Bailey Helly, I believe they said. Number 7.
So there's 2 seniors.
Yep. So number 22, junior Lacey Hennick. So number 10, Mariah Zitterbrun, senior.
Yep. So both teams kind of have a blend of
young
senior, a little bit of experience and some younger kids. I guess just age-wise, you can't, because like Sarah's been playing. I'm sure some of those sophomores this year isn't the first time. So there's 13, Annie Hoffman, sophomore. Says she's 5'8". She looks taller than 5'8".
Number 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she is. But those are both sophomores, Sarah Reed and her. So now we have a senior and a sophomore here. So senior for the Wildcats, and that's Lily Kramer, who wears the black libero uniform.
And then Ella Alls is a sophomore.
We do have the national anthem getting ready to roll here, so we're going to take a second to give it a break.
Great job by
Christy
Engelman to do that by herself, man.
Yeah, and she had about 3 minutes warning, so I just ran down and grabbed her because she typically does sing on home games, and I
forgot to
I forgot to talk to her today in class about it, and she was at play practice, so I went and grabbed her, and she said, "Am I up now?" I said, "Yep."
Yeah.
So
good for her.
she does a fantastic job.
That's pretty cool. All right, so we are getting ready for the customary, I guess, volleyball handshake under the nets by both teams, and then we will be ready to play some volleyball. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. Like we said, this is, last Tuesday against Starmont, we both commented that the Wildcats just didn't come out with that fire that we saw at Springville. We had talked about, and then how they got that fire against Alburnett.
Yep.
And they're looking, hopefully this is kind of one of those games. I mean, this is, if you can't get fired up playing, another
high-level team,
yeah, high-level team, then I'm not sure why, this is why you play. And so
and you're playing for something, playing for your school record. You're playing for an opportunity to potentially host a conference tournament, which is all new things at Central City volleyball.
It's pretty exciting. So, I mean, it's got, hopefully the kids are, and so far, I mean, they look like they're pretty pumped and they can just stay in it. And even if they do get a couple good hits, that they stay determined and they don't get down and they keep battling, because we've mentioned volleyball it's not just that one game.
Yep.
It's 5. You got to win 3 out of 5. So there's a lot out on the line.
Absolutely. So we are getting set to roll here. It looks like Natalie Noonan's
you got game 1?
Yeah, you know what? Give me game 1, Karth.
All right.
I need that roster over there. Yep.
There you go.
So I know ours here.
Preem is the setter.
All right. So number 5, Natalie Noonan starts off with the serve, and it's going to be hit back. Oh, nope, it is not. Number 3, Preem, kind of a little miscue there.
Doesn't matter how good of a hitter you are with that.
Nope.
So there you go.
Number 5, Natalie Noonan, up to serve again here for the Cats. It's 1-0 Wildcats. A great serve there by Natalie. Ball is going to be returned by number 2, Roush. Wildcats are just a little out of position there on that first ball. So 1-1. And that brings up number 3, Preem. Their setter is also their first server, maybe potentially their top server.
Mm-hmm.
So she is a senior, 5'5" senior here for the Vikings. And she will hit it to Lily Kramer, who hits it up in the air to Fritcher, back over to Lacey Hennick, and she kind of just miscued it and just kind of hit it into the bottom of the net. You could see in her face that she was a little disappointed after that hit.
Well, we can't let an error like that keep us from swinging away.
Nope, so Preem with the serve, and it hits the net, and it did not fall over, Karth.
I know.
Seems like on every other team when they hit it at the top of the net, it rolls over.
It does.
But not this one, so that'll bring up Emma Fritcher to serve here for the Cats, number 17. Score is 2-2. Emma with her jump serve. That's a really good serve, and it's going to be kind of hit out of place, but then returned by the Vikings, and good position here for the Wildcats to do something with it. Let's see what they do. Hit to Elise Skelton, who, with the kill there.
I was hoping that they would attack that right there as the ball came over, but they decided to set it up, and we probably made a good decision, and Elise got the kill.
So that brings the score to 3-2 in favor of the Wildcats. Fritcher's serve hits the top of the net. They got it up, and that was a tricky one. It hit the top of the net, and I thought it was going to hit the ground, and then all of a sudden I think Preem made a play on it, and it bounced right back over, and our girls just weren't ready for it.
We had 2 girls right there, and they just didn't miss the communication. So
number 9, Rose Hoochland, I believe. I don't know. I think it's Hoochland. That's what we're going to call her. So hits it over, and then eventually is missed by
I think that's kind of one of those, oops, I didn't mean to do it like that, but
it scored a point. So Fritcher passed it to Skelton, who went to kill it, and fingertips barely hit it, and it just popped right over the front row. So that's a point for Cats. This brings up Lily Kramer to serve, number 1, the libero, and she sends it to the back row, and they have not had an opportunity to hit it at us at all.
And that's what we talked about, some good serving. Lily does a really good job, we mentioned, of switching up that serve. Sometimes it's a floater, sometimes it's a hard one, and they haven't passed the ball. So
Lily's been all year been a good server here for the Wildcats, and there's an opportunity for them on the kill.
But
and
we did a good job.
Yep, we did a great job of protecting the net, and that ball's hit back by the Vikings. They're kind of out of place now. They hit it up to Fritcher. Fritcher hits it to Weber, who sets it over to Hennick. Hennick hits it back, and that's a big-time hit there by Hansel for the Vikings. Lacey Hennick tried to make a play on it, but the ball ended up in the bleachers. So regardless, 5-4 in favor of the Cats. That will bring up Roush to serve. Hennick to Fritcher. Fritcher to Reed. Reed hits it to the back row. Kind of puts the Vikings in a bad spot here, but they hit it back over to Fritcher. Fritcher to Weber. Weber to Hennick, who just kind of taps. That was a good play there, but the Vikings make a play back. Nope,
they're gonna
double.
Call 2 hits,
Yeah, so
nice.
We will take it. 6-4 Cats.
I'm really impressed the way Sarah's hitting the ball lately.
Yes.
She didn't get a lot of kills the other night. We were talking about how Starmont played everything, but she's really been hitting the ball well. Hopefully
she was hitting the ball really well. She just didn't get any kills on that because they played very good defense. So Hennick serves, and the ball is then just kind of free balled over to the Cats, and there's another one for Sarah Reed, and there's the kill. So good pass by Fritcher, and it's hit down by Reed there. So right as you said it, you didn't jinx her this time. You set her up. So
nice little quick set and hit, and Sarah was right there. It was nice.
We apologize for any one of Karth's announcer jinxes tonight. So we have Hennick serving, and it's just not returned by the Vikings. So a little out of sync, it looks like, for the Vikings. This is a team that's good. I mean, you're talking 15-9 record. That they've made some mental errors early on that we're capitalizing on at this point. So Hennick hits it to, eventually it's going to be hit back over here by the Vikings. Hit it back to Weber. Weber just kind of tips it over. It's a good play, and that's a point.
Yeah.
Cats are on their A-game start game 1 here, so let's hope they maintain.
Hey, they got some big hitters, but like we said, they were showing off in warm-ups, but that's when you get perfect sets and there's no blockers. So really,
right now our skill players in the back, I would say, have been more.
Our passing has been more consistent than theirs.
So Hennick with the serve, and sorry if any Edco fans are listening to us. I don't know your roster very well yet, but that one is hit deep by Wessel, too deep, and that is a point here for the Wildcats. 10-4. No.
I don't know what happened there, but should be ours. The ball somehow got thrown over to Edco's side, so we'll take that. And
Lily Kramer thought it was a point for the other team. She's just feeling generous today. Wants to give them, keep the game fair, I guess. But it was pretty deep from here. So Hennick hits it over, and it's going to be just kind of tipped over by Edco. Good save by Weber. Eventually it's hit back by Eva Owens. And Emma Fritcher with the good save. We have the ball hit back to Sarah Reed, and that's going to be,
nice
good play. Yeah, absolutely. Back to Sarah Reed, who kind of spots it over. Being returned. There's the big hitter.
Yep, nice play by Lacey Hennick.
Good hit, yeah. Good hit by Hennick, and the ball is finally returned by Weber. And that ball is going to be out of bounds.
Great playing right there by the Wildcats. They did get a good set to their big hitter, number 6, but Lacey Hennick did a fantastic job of playing that up and keeping it alive.
Absolutely. So 11-4 in favor of the Cats. This is a great start against a good team here.
Yeah.
And good play by Emma Fritcher. Is kind of hit over in a bad spot, but Fritcher saves it, and eventually it's just kind of free-balled over by Weber. And there's the point.
Out of position there a little bit.
But that was a good run there for the Cats, so that brings the score to 11-5.
Well, and one of their hitters is in the back row right here. I think that's isn't her name Hoffman, number 13?
Number 13 is Hoffman, that's
so
sophomore.
So she's in the back row right now. So right now the other big hitter they've only got one of the big hitters in the front. And there's a serving error. Just what?
Yeah,
I was kind of looking at their serve, and they've got some a lot of 800s and even some 700s. So we'll take that.
So Leah Weber with the serve here. It's eventually going to be hit back over by.
There's a hitting error.
Yeah, that's hit by Hansel, who is the one who was showing off in warm-ups because she could really hit that ball, but she hit this one into the net.
And Hoffman,
and she is a good player looking her statistically here. So Weber is going to serve again, and they're going to go back to Hansel, and that time she
did it.
Yeah, she hit that one hard. So that was a really good hit there. But
right now, Wildcats, just have to keep limit our mistakes and keep the pressure on them. Now they have Hansel in the back row, and they have Hoffman's going to be in the front row. And Hoffman is the one who's potentially injured, so we'll see how that goes.
So Fritcher to Weber, back to Fritcher for the, that's in.
Ooh.
That's in. That was a good hit. They thought Edco, Fritcher hit it kind of on the back line there, and that was in.
I almost thought that was going to be out, but yeah, we'll take it.
It stayed down.
Yeah.
I believe that was in, so, and it was called in as well. So I'm right, Garth. You don't have to tell me twice. So Reed's serving now here. And it's going to be returned, and the Wildcats are just not ready. There just hasn't been long volleys yet so far. It's kind of been quick points back and forth, back and forth.
I'm not sure who that was, but we didn't have her on our radar, number 7. She hit the ball pretty good that time.
Bailey Healy?
Healy, yeah.
So that ball's hit over to Hannah Kramer. Hannah Kramer hits it to Weber. Weber to Owens. Owens back over. Ball eventually comes back to the Cats, and Elise Skelton's going to spike that one home. Kill that one home, I should say. Not a spike. I'm wrong.
Hoffman got a piece on it, but it popped it straight up, and then it fell down, and it fell in that hole in the middle there, and nobody was able to get to it. So Wildcats get that side out.
Eva Owens up to serve here for the Wildcats. And that's a good
nice
serve. That's a good serve.
Yeah.
And it's kind of returned
huge.
by the Vikings, but it's out of bounds. So
yep.
16-7 in favor of your Wildcats. So the girls are on a mission so far tonight. Let's hope this maintains.
We need to keep the pressure on.
Owens with the jump serve. Kind of a high hit one, but it's not returned very well. And
we didn't take advantage of that.
Didn't take advantage of that, but coming back to us now.
There you go.
Good play there by Lily Kramer, and eventually it's hit over by Fritcher. Ball's hit high by Edco. Not sure what's going on. That's going to be out of bounds, yeah.
Wow, we got fortunate on that.
Yeah, so they kind of just tried to tip it over, and I think it was Hennick who was challenging at the net, and she tried to hit it. Edco tried to hit it over, and they hit it out of bounds. So now we have Eva Owens serving again, and yeah, that one might have been out of bounds, but they played it. And good play by Eva Owens to get that ball back.
Yes.
Wow, what a play there. I don't think she meant to do that, but we'll take it.
Play, man, yeah.
So Eva keeping her serve streak alive. She says, I want one more. So Eva Owens still serving here for the Wildcats. That was a big play. Got a ball hit real hard there by Rausch and returned by Owens.
Oh. Whoa. Eva got hit right in the chest.
And
wow,
Eva kind of laughed after that one. That one was hit very hard.
That was Hoffman.
Yeah.
She got a quick set and came around and was able to jump and pound that ball. That was a pretty hard hit. But you know what? That's 1 point. Doesn't matter how hard it's hit,
and at the end of the day, she just made a great play on the play before that. She's laughing over on the bench still. So
yeah.
Natalie Noonan checks in. The ball's hit to Noonan. Noonan to Weber. Weber up to Hennick, who has a great hit back. It's going to be returned here by. Oops.
Oh.
That would have. Who was that?
That was 14.
That was Wessel?
Yeah. No, 14.
Yeah, it's Wessel. So it was Natalie Wessel.
Okay, yeah. She kind of just got that. Wasn't really hard hit, but just enough that went out of bounds.
That ball is hit to Lily Kramer. Lily Kramer hits it to. Oh, great hit by. Emma Fritcher.
I almost thought that was going to be out.
It might have been, but
it's hard for us to tell up here.
And that ball is out.
Yes.
Yep. So that ball was returned then by number 2, Haley Rausch, and that was a good hit.
Emma Fritcher says you can hit it hard. I can too.
Absolutely, she does.
She had a good
hit. That was a good hit, and it might have been played on the backside, but you know what? Hennig didn't think it was out. She played it.
Yeah.
And point cat. So serving here is Emma Fritcher, and that ball is.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought that was probably on the outside of the antenna, but there's. Good play there by Natalie Noonan, who keeps the ball alive. It's hit to Fritcher. Fritcher to Weber. Weber with the point. That's a point. 20-9 is the score right now. So you have a 15-9 team come into your house, and you're up 20-9 to start in the first game. You're feeling pretty good about yourself right now.
But we can't let up. You know, you got to get up to 25. We've seen it where there can be streaks. So this time out, we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to Next Bank. Next Bank is financially strong community bank. Invested partnerships help their customers achieve what's next for their financial dreams. Next Bank has 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Yeah, this is great. 29, and you know Edco's just their passing isn't crisp, and as long as we can keep the pressure on with our serves and keep them off balance, that's really playing into our hands. So Emma Fritcher's back there.
So Emma Fritcher getting ready to serve here. Jump serve is hit to the back row there. Going to be returned here by, that is, man, they have 3 good hitters, don't they? Number 13 this time is Hoffman. So good hit there by Hoffman to the back row. Fritcher.
13 and 6 are their two best hitters.
So that will bring up number 9 here, Rose Hoochland for the Vikings, who's serving. Kind of just hits it softly over to Noonan. Noonan to Fritcher. Fritcher passes it over to Hennick.
Nice.
Great hit by Hennick. So good pass and good hit there.
Big rotation. I mean, just we're not letting them get any offense going as far as on their side.
They have 3 big hitters, but we have not allowed those hitters to really control the game at this point.
No, they've had one. Each of them have had one big hit.
So Lily Kramer serving now for the Cats, and that ball's going to be returned from the back row, and that one's way out. So
go for it.
That is 22-10 in favor of the good guys.
Hey, that's
good girls, I should say here.
Good girls. Yeah, they were in game 1.
So Lily Kramer with the serve. That one she puts a little more mustard on. And that ball is just eventually just hit over. Good save there by Natalie Noonan. Looked like a little bit of miscommunication. It's going to eventually be hit back to Hennick, and Hennick makes a good play, but Edco makes a better one until they hit it into the net. So 23-10 here at Carth.
This is nice.
To say I saw this first game coming, I'd be lying to you. We just are ready to go. So, like we said, they have 3 phenomenal hitters, and we're right now just keeping them off balance. Here comes another one of those big hits, and that was a big hit by Kelsey Hansel.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Hansel that's her second big hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that
like
was a big
hit. She's had 2, and Hoffman's had 1, but those are just 1 point. It isn't like you get 10 points for a big hit,
No. Nope. There's no 14-point play here for them. So. We have Kramer to Fritcher to Reed, and Reed with the point. That we just need one more. Need one more now.
That's crazy. Let's go, Lacey. Lacey had a big run for us. She kind of was the one who got the stretch here in the lead for us. So hopefully she can keep her groove and finish this out.
All right, so here goes Hennick with the jump serve, and that one is
that's
the announcer jinx we've been talking about from Carth. So it doesn't matter though. We just need one here, Carth. That's all we need.
Side out right here.
They have number 14, so they have Wessel serving for them, who's had a big hit for them so far. She serves it to Kramer to Fritcher to Reed, who just kind of hits it to the back row, and they're a little bit out of position here before the big hitter.
They had Hoffman hit out of the back row, and Sarah Reed was there with the block, but we just were a little deep anticipating those hits, and we just weren't able to make that. And there it is.
Don't need to hit it because they served it into the net, and that brings a score of 25-13. That's game 1 there.
That is crazy. Though the funny thing is that the Wildcats came out and we talked about body language and enthusiasm, and we saw a lot of that in that first game right when they were, and you talked about how they looked poised and have been talking about wanting to get this win. So
they're locked in so far.
Yeah, locked in, and now we got to keep it up. We can't slow down.
Yeah, I think that, like you called it exactly right. We just kind of had all the momentum. We made a lot of the better plays, I would say, from the back row, that we were just setting our hitters up in the right position, and we didn't have the big hits, but we had the hits that were in the right spot.
Right,
and they had the big hits, but they didn't have very many of them.
1 point, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, the other night that hurt us against Starmont was some serving errors, and I think we had 1 serving error. Lacey just had that one right there at the end. And they had at least 3, I think. And I just think serves are so important to try to, get that over there and try to get your points. So hopefully the Wildcats can keep that serving up and keep that. And I thought, too, the Edco looked like they were scrambling a lot. And weren't able to get some of those good passes. And the Wildcats passing was pretty good. So hopefully we can keep that up for game 2. So game 1, Wildcats take that 25-13. We're getting ready here for game 2 to start, and while we're waiting, we'll just talk about Next Bank. What's next on your list of financial goals? Wherever you're going next, Next Bank has a loan that's right for you. Your next car, your next home, even your next adventure, all are within reach with a Next Bank loan. Convenient locations in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And so Wildcats are ready to go here. And Edco's still huddled up. They've got about a minute. And when you're playing like the Wildcats did, I guess there's not really a lot to talk about. You know, it's just a matter of they've got the right formula. They just have to keep up.
Can they do it again?
Yeah, the
and
intensity.
Again. 2 more times.
Yep, 2 more times. And like I said, it looked like, you know, Edco was kind of on their heels, a little out of position and stuff. So hopefully we can continue to put the pressure on them and keep them out of their rhythm so that those big hitters can't get going. So they're going to start with Chesney Preem. Edco's going to get the serve first here in game 2. Wildcats are up 1-0. And the officials say, let's play. So Preem's going to serve. And it goes to Hennick, who pops it up to Weber, who backs. Oh, they're going to call Weber with a double hit. So not the way we want to get started, but it's early and we can get things changed around here pretty quick. So Preem's going to serve again. And this time it's Lily Kramer, and then there's Eva Owens with the hit. And there it is. There's a kill for Eva. So just like that, it's going to be a side out. And Eva's going to go back to serve. See if Eva can do some damage for us here. There's a nice serve by Eva. It's popped up to Preem, and that's going to be Hoffman. But she just tips it over. Wildcats play it back, and there's a hit by Lacey Hennick. It goes right through Hoffman's hands. So Eva Owens to serve again. Wildcats up 2-1 in game 2. Eva does a little jump serve. And there's Hoffman, gets it to Preem. Preem just tips it over, and it's out.
Good play
Got
there
2
by
big
Hennick.
hitters, and I don't know if she didn't think she could set that, if it was too tight to the net, or what the deal was. But that went out. Needless to say, she didn't use her big hitter, so we've got Eva serving again here. Oh, and there's what we just talked about. There's that one serving error.
Yep.
But hopefully the Wildcats can get it back here. So got a couple substitutions. Natalie Noonan's coming in, and Rose Heschland's coming in for Hoffman over there. Hoffman doesn't play the back row all the time, it looks like. So there's a serve. Lily Kramer pops it up. Weber sets it outside to Hennick. Hennick hits it. Bumped up by the Edco Vikings, and they just free ball it over. There's the set by Fritcher. Nice hit by Skelton. Yeah, there's a little quick. There's a quick little set, and Elise is makes a kill on that, and so it's going to be a side out, and that's going to bring up Emma Fritcher. Fritcher with the serve and a nice. Oh yeah, they're going to call that. It was a good serve, and the libero just bumped it up, and then Preem, they called her for a double hit, so Wildcats are going to get the point there. So we're in game 2 here. Wildcats up 5-2. Emma Fritcher, there's a nice serve. Oh!
Dang it.
Ooh, they called that out?
Yep.
Okay, that was an out. I almost thought that was going to be Emma's 35th ace. So that one's out.
While you were on a roll, I checked our NFHS, and we're rolling on that card, so we're good to go on that.
And
sounds good, too.
Good. So there's a serve by Edco, and there's number 6. I tell you what, she can hit the ball hard, Hansel, but that's her second hitting error. Hits it right into the net. We'll take that. So that's going to be a side out for the Wildcats. Wildcats are up 6-3 in game 2. We took game 1. Lily Kramer back serve. She really does a nice job of keeping the other team off balance. There's a back set to Aaliyah Weber, who gets it picking on the setter. The setters don't like to pass the ball. They want to set. And so Preem's back there in that corner and just isn't able to handle it. So Lily Kramer's going to continue serving for the Wildcats, 7-3. There's Hansel, and they set it to 14, and she just free balls it over. Here's Lacey Hennick with the hit. Played up by the Vikings. Preem gets it out to Hansel. Well, now there is a hit. She got a good set, and Hansel was able to pound that ball. But like we said, that's just one hit, 1 point.
And we're still ahead, 7-4, yeah.
7-4. Wessels is going to go back and serve. The ball went out into the common, so Berg went and tracked it down.
Good work, Kylie.
Yeah. So we got Natalie Wessel back, and she hits it in the net. So there's that serving error that we talked about. And it makes it 8-4 for the Wildcats. We've got Eva Owens coming in and Natalie Noonan stepping out. And Lacey Hennick's going to go back and serve. So we'll hopefully can build on this lead here.
Jump serve there by Hennick.
Gets it up to Preem. Preem back sets it to Hansel, and Hansel's able to get that through our block. Our blockers were there, just weren't able to slow that down. So
almost like it bounced off the top of the net there and kind of just rolled in between everybody.
Yeah. So Hansel's going back to serve, and Weber plays that up. Fritcher gets it to Reed. Reed just down balls it over. Played up. Preem out. Preem hits it out to Helly, and really our blockers were right there, but we just weren't able to do anything with it, and it fell straight down in front of us. So Edco's on a little bit of a run here, 8-6. There's a pass by Kramer, and there's that quick.
Oh, good hit, Sarah.
Nice. There's that quick. I'll tell you what, they've got the big pounders, but we've got that little quick hit, and and Edco's just not able to slow that down right now. So it's going to be a side out. That was Sarah Reed got that, and Leah Weber's going to go back and serve it for the Wildcats. And Preem just passes it over. Not really the greatest pass to her. She couldn't do anything with it. Just bumped back over by the Wildcats. And there's the Vikings. And again, there's our block with Sarah Reed and Emma Fritcher. Just a little late getting there, and the block goes out of bounds.
Yeah, we've been contesting pretty well. We're just not capitalizing on those blocks.
Not getting it to go right back at them. So the libero, Ella Alls, is serving, and it goes to Lily Kramer, who gets it to Weber, who back sets it to Reed. And they were there to block us, but same thing happened. The block just went straight in the net. So it's going to be a side out for the Wildcats. So we're in game 2. Wildcats are up 10-7, and Sarah Reed's going to be serving for the Wildcats. Nice serve by Sarah. There's Hansel gets it over, hits it over. Oh, there's a solo block by Hoffman. We hit right where she was.
Looked like a good hit there by Fritcher, and it just kind of
but right where she was. I'm not going to say Hoffman just happened to be in the right spot at the right time, I think, in that case. So side out for Edco, and it's going to be 10-8. Wildcats are up. Preem is serving. And there's going to be a set by Weber, and there's Eva Owens, just a nice little soft hit, but played back over by the Vikings, and now we're going to attack again with Eva. Eva gets it to the back row. Preem's going to bump it, and it's just going to be a down ball, and the pops over. Weber saves it, and there's that quick. This time they were ready for it, that quick set and hit by, and just a miscommunication. Otherwise, we've been able to continue. Elise Skelton and I think that was Leah Weber ran into each other.
Just kind of ran into each other there.
So there's going to be a quick timeout here. Not a bad idea. 10-9. Wildcats are up in game 2.
Let's give a shout out to our sponsor who helps make this possible for us to do the Wildcat Cast. Next Bank is a financially strong community bank. Invested partnerships help their customers achieve what's next for their financial dreams. Next Bank has 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. So thank you to Next Bank again for providing this for us.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a great game, too, so far here, back and forth. The Wildcats kind of got ahead there, and the Vikings have battled back. So 10-9. Our girls look ready to go, though, still. I mean, they got a lot of confidence. You can just kind of see it in their emotions right now. So very excited about that.
Got to be ready. So Preem, the setter here, is in the back row serving for Edco, and she's going to serve it to Brooks. Pops it up outside to Elise Skelton, and Elise just has a little miscue on the hit right there. Hits it into the net. And so that's going to be 10-10 here. So Wildcats need to make something happen. Preem's still serving back there. We need to try to take advantage here and get it. Oh, there's just not moving our feet. And maybe a little miscommunication in the back row. So right now here it's a little gut check. And let's see if Wildcats can't make something happen and take advantage and get out of this rotation here. So Preem's picking on Eva, and she gets a nice pass up to Weber, and there we go. There's a good hit, and Edco plays it up, and nice dig by Lily Kramer, and it's going to be a free ball over by Eva Owens.
Good play by Kramer for sure.
Yep, and there's just a throw.
Oh,
man, I tell you what, Natalie Wessel just kind of threw that ball. I don't know how that's not an illegal play, but to me that looks like churchyard volleyball.
Looks like watching high school boys play
yeah,
volleyball.
Exactly.
They just kind of throw it over.
Yeah, they just catch it and throw it. So
there we go.
We get a nice hit by Fritcher, but it's played back by Edco, and the Wildcats are on the attack again. Played up by Edco. Preem outside. This is going to be a free ball right here. Is a great opportunity, and that's what we need. Free balled it, and it went out of bounds, and Edco. So we're going to have a side out. It looks like Natalie Noonan is going to come in and serve for Eva Owens.
I'll tell you what, you got to give credit to Edco here in this last game here. They look more alert for our hits too.
Yep.
You know, they're ready. They're passing the ball a lot better in that back row.
For sure. Kind of keeping the ball alive. So
yeah.
Natalie Noonan with the big serve, and there you go. Preem pops it up and just kept it alive by the Vikings. Edco Vikings. And there's
nice
a big hit by Fritcher, but it's played up and then back set out to that Wessels, and this time Weber's there, and Fritcher sets it out. Oh, and they're going to call a double hit by Fritcher on that set. So they call that illegal, but then they don't call that other stuff. I just don't get volleyball anymore. But anyway, Wildcats here have to get a side out and put a little run together. We're down 13-11. And Rose Huchlin is serving, and there's the pass in the set, and it's going to be Hennick with the hit. Popped up by Huchlin. Preem outside to, and that was in, yeah. Preem outside to Hansel, and Hansel got that one just in, hit deep. I think she was trying to get it over the block and was able to keep it in bounds. So there's 14-11.
Momentum shifted a little bit here. Yeah, the Cats got to get one back here.
Yep. There's Lily Kramer with the pass up to Weber, and she hits it out there to Fritcher. Fritcher hit is blocked.
Oh, man.
Oh, and
yeah,
yes.
Yep.
It's blocked, and Preem tried to make a play, and she ran right underneath the net, and the officials called that. So there's that big side out. We needed big hit by Emma Fritcher there. And Wildcats need to come back here now and make some things happen. 12-14. There's a nice serve. Preem's just going to bump it up, back row, set to Wessels, Hoffman, and it comes back over from the Wildcats. Hennick played up by the Vikings, and there.
That one's out. I think the first one was out too, but we hit it, and now we got the second one. So
Hansel that time did go deep. I'm again trying to hit over those blocks, and it went deep. So we'll take that point, Wildcats.
13-14 is the score here in favor of the Vikings.
Game 2. Emma Fritcher was nice. There's an ace serve. All right, it goes right through Hansel's hands. Really couldn't do anything with that. And that's 14-14 now.
Wildcats lead 1-0 on the night if you're just joining us.
And Emma Fritcher's continuing serving for the Wildcats. Nice little jump serve. And there's Hoffman. They get it up to Hansel, and then she just takes a little bit off, played up by Noonan. It's going to be free balled over by Skelton. And then it's going to be Preem with the bump. And there's Hansel, played by Noonan, but it's going to go out of bounds.
Yep.
So pretty good hit by Hansel. No really touch to help Noonan. And she was there, though. Natalie was right there.
Yep.
It was a pretty good hit right off of Natalie's arms, and it just shanked out of bounds a little bit. So side out, go to the Vikings. It's 15-14. They're up by 1. There's Kramer with the pass. Up to Fritcher, and there's Elise Skelton. There's
nice
Elise,
hit.
yeah.
Elise had a good game tonight so far.
She does a little better if she can get those quick hits and doesn't have those high sets. The one high set she had, we talked about how she kind of knuckleballed it over, and then the other one she hit into the net. She does it better with those little quick ones.
She's had 3 or 4 good hits tonight.
Yeah, she has. So there's Lily Kramer back to serve for the Wildcats. It's tied up 15-15. There's Hansel, took a little bit off, and Noonan's there. And
nice
play by Fritcher to keep it in line. And there's Hansel again. She just kind of downballs it. Let's use this, Wildcats. It's outside to Hennick. played up by Hoffman, and the Wildcats keep it alive, and there's Hennick now with the hit. She just kind of down balls it over. Preem, oh, come on, Wildcats, there you go. Lacey Hennick with another play, popped up by the Vikings. There's Wessel with that throw again. And
dang
she
it.
just kind of, Sarah Reed got kind of turned around, and Wessels was able to just be a little stronger at the net than if Sarah would have been head on. I think Sarah would have got that. So side out, good volley by both teams. Lost scrappiness out there tonight, the second game. There's Kramer with the pass up to Fritcher. Fritcher just sets it to Reed, who downballs it. Bad pass. Preem didn't really have much to do with it. Hoffman, not really a very good pass, and goes in the net. So it's going to be a side out. And we're in game 2. We're tied 16-16. Wildcats are up 1-0. And Lacey Hennick's going to go back and serve for the Wildcats. And there's that serving error. Hennick's been doing a really good job of serving, and hate to see that in this tight of a game right here. I want to kind of keep the pressure on. One good thing is that Hansel's in the back row, so their big hitter is serving, and there's gonna. Yes, the Wildcats get it over. Yep, and this is a free ball. So Kramer gets it up to Fritcher, who back sets it to Weber. It's just popped up by Hoffman, and it's going to be hit by Helly, and she hits it in the net. So Wildcats are able to take advantage and
got a good game here. 17-17. Weber up to serve here.
Yep, we're in game 2.
Take game 2. That's big.
No kidding. There's the serve. Preem back sets it to Helly, and that's going to be a point. Wildcats. I'm not sure if that was a hitting error or if there was a block. Sometimes it's hard on that when you see the net shaking. I don't know that the ball got over the net there.
I just went into fan mode here. I was clapping. I forgot I'm announcing.
Nothing wrong with that. Weber, and there's a tight. Oh, come on, play it up.
Good.
Emma Fritcher plays up the block, and there's the free ball by the Wildcats over, and there's going to be. You can't give Edco that many opportunities, and they did. They came back with that quick hit. That's the first time I've seen them use that against us. Preem set Hoffman with that quick hit, and Hoffman buried it. But 18-18, we're in game 2. The libero, Ella Alls, is going back to serve for the Vikings. A back set out there to Sarah Reed, played up by Hansel. There's a, bad set by Preem, or I don't know if it was a bad set, but Hoffman just couldn't get around to do anything with that. And so, again, I don't know if she's got wrapped on her leg. I don't know if that's bugging her a little bit. She just doesn't have the mobility or whatever.
Timeout Vikings.
But Hoffman just wasn't able to do anything with that, and she just tipped it over and tipped it right out of bounds. So Wildcats have it 19-18, and we're at a timeout. Maybe we can give a shout out to our sponsor.
Absolutely. From your first checking account to your first car, your first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between. Next Bank, people relate because they're your people. They're in your community, sitting beside you at your kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Next Bank. Conveniently located in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville, member FDIC, equal housing lender. The Cats had a short break, and Coach says, you know what? We're ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Yep.
He's got the girls. I like that. A little kind of, hey, we're waiting on
you. Well, we aren't the ones who called the timeout.
We're ready to keep playing, so get out here. I like it.
That's right. So Sarah Reed's back to serve. We're in game 2. Wildcats up 19-18. And there's the serve from Sarah, and there's Hansel, gets to Preem, and there's Helly. We got the block going there, and there's the set to Elise Skelton, and Elise, was that Elise?
Yeah, it was Elise,
she finds that, there's that quick hit, and Elise finds that spot in the middle. Fritcher with the set there. So we talked about the 2 big hitters that Edco has, and they've both had a couple big hits, but Wildcats have been able to slow them down tonight. And there's back set. I don't think that's who she wanted to hit it, but there's a back set for the Vikings. And we just aren't able to take advantage of that quick set with Emma. Kind of got it over Elise's head a little too much, and Elise wasn't able to do anything with that set. So there's a side out, and it's going to be Wildcats 20, Edco 19, and Preem the setter with the serve, and there's Elise, and she keeps it in play. Preem's going to set it back to Wessels, played up by Weber. There's Fritcher, and she gets Owens there with the hit over. Preem's going to go back outside to Helly.
Nice
block.
block.
Emma Fritcher with the solo block and the point.
That was big time.
Huge play by Emma Fritcher. Comes up there and solo blocks that. And that gives the Wildcats a point. Now, the game's not over yet, Lily. Lily just hiked it to Eva, and it was a bad snap. And
I don't know what just happened.
I know. So, anyway, let's keep it going, Wildcats. There's Eva Owens with the jump serve. Preem is going to go outside to Wessels, and Wessels hits played up by Lacey Hennick, and then back. Lacey Hennick hits it back over. Preem doesn't have anything to work with, so she just bumps it over. Fritcher quick to Elise. This time they're ready, but it comes right back over. Hennick isn't able to do anything. We're just kind of
out of bounds, right? Yes.
Wessels just get right back over, and Wessels wasn't able to control it, and it gets knocked out of bounds. So
timeout again for Edco.
That's Edco's second timeout. Each team gets 2 timeouts. And that's Edco's second timeout. Wildcats still do have 1 timeout. We took that early on. So we're in game 2 right now, folks, and it's 22-19. I'm Cindy McCarthy being joined by Tanner Carlson. Pretty exciting game. Wildcats took game 1, 25-13, and this one's been a back-and-forth one. No team has really had I guess.
We were dominant in game 1. This has been a very balanced game 2, yeah.
We pretty much dominated game 1. We
Absolutely.
got up. I think we were down by about were we down by 3?
3 or 4 there,
at one point, and we've battled back and we've whittled away, and now we're taking advantage, and we're up 22-19. And so Edco.
That's a cat back, Karth.
It's a cat back. Hopefully, Mr. McLaughlin's out there listening to that. He kind of did you come up with that?
I came up with that, and he thought it was good, so we've rolled with it. That's a comeback. It's cat back. In case you're listening, thinking I'm crazy.
Oh, and Eva took a lot off of that one.
Big time! Spike.
Eva Owens took a huge. Just barely got it over the net. Wessels popped it up, and right there, Elise Skelton was waiting and pounded it back down. So the Wildcats are up 23-19.
Let's go. Finish this here, girls.
And Eva's going to come back with another jump serve. Nice little short one, and Preem's going outside to Wessels. There's the block. Lacey's going to keep it in play. There's Elise Skelton. And Eva Fritcher
she hit
it. I think she just lost track of where she was, and she really hit it hard, and I don't think she needed to hit it quite that hard. But anyway.
20-23.
There's the break. I'm sure that Edco wanted. And they get, unfortunately, Hansel's going to be back in the front row. But, again, she's had some hitting errors, and you got to get a good pass to get a good hit. So hopefully Wildcats can take advantage here and get a side out right back. Lily Kramer to Weber. Weber outside to Hennick.
Nice hit by Hennick.
Lacey Hennick puts it down, finds a hole between their blockers, and it's 24-20 Wildcats, and Emma Fritcher's going to go back and serve.
If this is basketball, that's a dunk right there, Carter.
That's a dunk. Or for sure a breakaway layup.
At least a breakaway layup. Yeah. But that was awesome.
Emma Fritcher.
Oh,
nice.
That is game time right there.
There's her team-leading high ace serve, second one of the night that I can recall.
Yeah, big time one, too.
And there's the win. Wildcats take game 2, 25-20.
That was an awesome game.
That was a great game. Some good volleys, both teams scrapping, big hits, both teams some good serving, and wow, Wildcats come away with that. So we're going into game 3 here, and this is exciting volleyball.
It's been an exciting year of volleyball. It's just been a lot of fun to call these games. I tell you what, glad we got the NFHS cameras rolling. So if you are listening to us just on the YouTube channel, we do have an option now where you can view all home games. We won't be broadcasting all home games throughout the year, but every home game that we play here, including some junior high games that are in the main gym. Like we said, they have 3 girls that can really hit the ball. But we've had 6 girls on the floor that can really play tonight. You know what I mean? And that's made the difference. We maybe haven't hit it as hard as they have, but we've passed better, and we've contested better, and we've rotated better. And
like we said, I mean, it's impressive. I'm not going to lie. Watching somebody hit the ball as hard as they do. I mean, but Emma Fritcher can hit the ball.
She can hit the ball pretty hard too. Yeah.
But it's easy to wow people in. When you're doing warm-ups, but you still, I think that's been the key, is that they haven't had as many big hits just because their passing hasn't been consistent as our passing. I feel like our passing has been pretty good. Elise has had, you mentioned, she's had a lot of those quick hits, and Lacey Hennick's been hitting the ball, has got some good kills for us, and Emma Fritcher's gotten some kills, and I just think that our passing has just been a little more consistent than Edco, and their setters had to run around a little more and kind of bump it up and things like that.
I don't know if you've seen this, Carthy, but Coach Martin doesn't usually break this early. He's got a lot to say when you listen to him. The guy's been coaching volleyball for like 50-some years. He has a lot to say. But you know what? I think a little bit of right now what he's doing with the girls is a little bit of psyche where he's just kind of – he's putting them out there with a minute and a half left saying, hey, we don't need to adjust. We're ready. Like, they know what I want. And I like that. They're portraying a little confidence off that, too. The girls are down there kind of having some fun. And
the Edco coach is over there in the huddle on her knee pleading with the girls and –
there's a different feel to both sides right now.
You can kind of look on their faces, and they look a little shocked, and like, wow, what's going on here? And this is a 9-12 team, and we're 15-9, and what's going on? And but with volleyball, it's just a crazy sport. But here's the thing with the Wildcats, and we've talked about this, is that you got to play. You got to keep playing. Yeah, we've won the first 2 games, but we have to. You got to continue to play hard, and it would be great right now to get this game over with right now.
The teams that we're beating now or competing with now aren't teams that you can just show up in game 3 and win.
Exactly.
These are games you gotta really capitalize because they're good enough to come and string 3 in a row against you. So. Good start here for the Cats. This will be my game to announce here. So
there it is.
That's a great start.
Emma Fritcher.
So Emma Fritcher starts off with a big-time kill there for the Cats. It brings it to 1-0. We have Natalie Noonan serving for the Cats. She's joined by Lily Kramer and Leah Weber in the back row. We have Hennick, Skelton, and Fritcher in the front row. Good serve there by Noonan. Kind of puts. Oh, dang it.
And there's that's kind of a bummer because that was just. Keep that play alive by Preem and
they scored on it.
And they scored on it. It was just a bad pass again. We talked about that, but they capitalized. So we'll get it right back.
Yep. So here now Edco serves here with number 3 Preem. And it's going to be hit back by Hennick with a nice hit.
All right.
What was the call there, Carth? I kind of missed it.
I think they must have called in the net. Wessels looked like she was in the net. So we'll take that. We had that call against us several times, so we'll take it.
So that's 2-1 in favor of the Cats. Brings up Emma Fritcher to serve. Fritcher will use her jump serve here. And it's hit to the back row, and they're kind of in scramble mode, which is where we want them. But they had a great return on. Wow, that was
the libero hitting it out of the back row.
Yeah, number 1, Owless.
Yeah, Owls.
So she ends up hitting a really good shot from the back row and kind of a play that looked like it was going to be set up for the Wildcats as just kind of like a free hit over. So now we're tied 2-2, and number 9, Huchlin, is up to serve. Noonan, it's hit to Noonan. Kramer hits it to the front to Fritcher, who just kind of hits it over. And that's going to be returned to Fritcher. Fritcher to Hennick. Fritcher to Weber. Weber to Hennick.
There it is. That's 4 hits.
Yeah, 4 hits there by.
Wow.
4 hits there by Edco. I just saw a fan on the other side who didn't agree with us, but I thought it was 4, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lady freaking out on the other side, but I thought it was 4. Not sure the officials are talking about it.
They're going to replay it, so maybe there was. They must have counted the block. The block doesn't count as a hit, and I think it kind of was a weird block. And so they thought it was a hit. So it's going to be a replay on that. So it's still 2-2, and Edco's still going to be serving.
Yeah, so
that's all right.
Replay on that's fine. They think they messed
it up. There we go. Look at that.
Ball don't lie. That's what we say in basketball. Ball don't lie.
It was the right call, and now we got the ball this time.
So it's 3-2. Lily Kramer, let's see if she can get on one of her famous little runs here that she kind of sets us up with from time to time. So we talk about kind of the variety of serves.
Dang
announcer jinx. That was my fault.
Yeah, okay. Now we're even.
Yeah. I think you've had 2 on tonight, but that's my first. So regardless, it's 3-3 here. And you have number 2 serving for Edco. That is Roush. It's eventually hit back over by Reed. Not a very hard hit ball. But one is, but it's blocked, and then it's returned anyways. So Fritcher ends up, Fritcher with a good save there after Reed's blocked. Hennick hits it to the back row. This ball is going to be, saw that one coming. Hansel kind of got a good set, and when she gets a good set, she gets a good hit 95% of the time. So that was a big-time hit, and Kramer tried to make a play on it, but the ball ends up out of bounds.
There's no blockers over there, so.
So we have 4-3 in favor of the Vikings.
Hennick.
And yeah, I'm not that.
Then they called Hennick, passed it up to, was that Weber?
Not Fritcher.
Oh, Fritcher. And then they called that 2 hits on that set.
So little run here by the Vikings.
Yeah.
Not a big one, and still only a 2-point game. So that ball is hit to Noonan. Noonan kind of shanks the serve, and then Kramer tries to save it, just hits it back, and the ball ends up out of bounds. So that's coach can call timeout here, and I don't blame him. So girls are a little bit out of sync here in game 3 to start, and so it's a good time to get them back on the right spot. Also a good time to give a shout out to Next Bank.
For sure. Next Bank is invested in their communities and ready to help the local economy grow by helping your business or farm operation grow. Whether you need an operating loan, equipment loan, livestock loan, or a real estate loan, Next Bank has great terms and rates that will help you move your business to the next level. Next Bank offices are located in Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Central City, Coralville, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So
6-3 here in favor of the Vikings. And that ball is hit to Lily Kramer, who's then hit to Fritcher, who makes a nice little tip on the ball and just kind of saves it from, I think, hitting the net, and then it ends up being a point. So
kind of the same thing that happened to us in one of those first point.
Oh,
what? Jeez. I guess they called Emma for hitting in the front row, maybe? She's in the front row. No.
I think they said that
somebody's hand was over the net.
I think they said she was over the net.
Okay. We're not getting any breaks this game, so Wildcats going to have to get their momentum back here a little bit. 7-3, probably one of the biggest leads that Edco's had.
So the ball's hit to Noonan, Noonan to Fritcher. Ball's eventually hit back over by Weber, and now Edco's in position to make a big hit, but Central City recovers on it, and it's going to eventually be hit to Hennick, who then hits it into the net. So that's 8-3 in favor of the Vikings. Not a good start here for the Cats, but a lot of volleyball left to play in this game.
Right.
So
now they've got to get going here.
Ball's hit to Noonan. Noonan hits it up in the air to Fritcher. Fritcher to Hennick. Hennick to potentially out of bounds, but
there it is.
Yeah, we'll take that one. So we haven't had many breaks. I think that's one.
Hoffman just wasn't able to handle it back there in the back row. Sometimes those big hitters who play all the way around don't play the back row as
well as they do the front.
Yeah,
so this is Lacey Hennick up here to serve for the Cats, and she has a good serve there, and the ball is eventually going to be hit back by Wessels, and that's a point for the Vikings. So we didn't get the start that we wanted here in game 3, Karth, but luckily for us, got a 2-0 lead on the night so far, and this is what we talked about. These are teams you can't give life to, though, because they are dangerous and powerful here, especially with those hits. So number 10, Zittergren is going to be serving for the Vikings. Eventually the ball is going to be hit back over by Weber, and a little mishap by the Vikings, but it's still played by the Vikings. And that's a good hit there from the back row by number 13, Hoffman. So yeah, that's
we gotta get something going here. We gotta get a side out. We've got to get a streak going.
Yeah, not the start we needed. So that ball's hit to Weber, Weber to Fritcher, Fritcher to Reed, Reed hits it home, and that ball is tipped. Yep.
All right, hopefully that gets us back going here.
So after what's felt like a really dominating performance by the Vikings in game 3, the Wildcats are only down 5. So we're right where we need to be. Hopefully Leah Weber can get us going here. She's got team high efficiency, I believe, on her serve. So let's see what she can get going. That's a great serve. Oh. But does not amount to anything.
That was one time that, even though that was a good serve, they were able to get a good pass out of it.
Yeah, that was a really good serve there by Weber, too. So you hate to see that one not come back our way. But that'll bring up number 6, Hansel for the serve.
Goes to the back row. That's a positive.
Yep, hits it to Fritcher, Fritcher to Weber, Weber back to Fritcher, Fritcher over. Ball is set high here to Weber, back to Fritcher, who hits it to the back row to Hansel, and then
that's what I mean. We've got to execute and take advantage of that.
So the ball was hit back over to us, and we had 2 kind of contesting at the net.
Yeah, and just weren't able.
Ball kind of just fell right in front of them. So Hansel serving again here, and it's hit to Fritcher, Fritcher to Weber, Weber to Reed. Reed kind of just pushes it over, And ball's going to be returned by the libero to our libero, Lily Kramer, and then eventually hit hard by Fritcher.
Okay, Wildcats need to do something right here. Sarah Reed needs to get us going.
Yep, got to lead the charge here, Sarah Reed. So the score is 6-12. You have a 2-0 lead in favor of the Cats. Garth, I'm not going to call it a cat back, but I feel one coming here. So
all right.
There is the serve by Sarah, and no, well, dang.
Yep.
That's a big hit there on the opposite side, and I don't know who that was this time. Is that number 7?
It was 7, Helly.
Helly, yeah. So a lot of different angles they're hitting it with here on. We just weren't ready for it on the backside. Their libero will be serving for them now. It's hit to our libero, Lily Kramer. Kramer to Weber, Weber to Owens. Owens hits it over. Gonna be returned
to
little Kramer, Hannah Kramer, and then hit back to Fritcher. I'm sorry, Fritcher hits it back over, and that one's out.
Yes.
So we needed that break there.
Yep,
so number
sure
2, Roush ends up hitting it. Which is a good hit, but she's just a little bit too deep. So Eva Owens is up to serve. You'll have Lacey Hennick checking back in. She's had a pretty good night here for the Cats.
Yeah, she has.
So Owens, jump serve, kind of just a soft floater over, and gonna be
nice play by Elise.
Yes, and then a good hit by Fritcher. Yeah.
Then Elise tipped it over, and they kind of popped it right back up, and then
Fritcher
Emma was right there for the kill. Yeah.
Ball should be on our side here. Yep.
All right.
So scores 8-13, 2-0 lead for the Cats on the night.
Here we go. Let's get this coming back right here.
And there's the serve. Another kind of soft ball hit to the back row, and good
nice
block.
Oh, Elise was there and read the play by was that
13?
That was Hoffman.
Yep.
And Elise was right there, and it was a big hit, but it just went off Elise's hands and went out of bounds. So
ended up out of bounds here.
The Wildcats though are starting to show some life. So if we can get a side out and get going.
Oh, a little miscommunication by the Cats, and it results in a.
That wasn't very smart. Just got to keep that ball in play. You can't hit it like that when you're facing us. So just when we say they're getting a little life, we're.
Yeah, kind of took the life out of us a little bit here, haven't they? So, yep, 8-16. They're dominating this one. We talked about us dominating game 1. They've been in complete control of game 3 here. So. Another serve getting ready to be sent over by Preem. Preem hits it to Kramer. Kramer to Weber. Weber to Hennick, who hits it into the net.
Yep. I don't know if that was block or hit in the net. Lacey's been doing a good job. Yep, they're going to call. Is that our first time out?
That's our second time out on the night, or on this game.
Yeah, that is. So this is our last time out. 8-17, and Wildcats need to try to get the mojo back here.
Yeah, so it's kind of not been the start of the third game that we'd like, but as we have a break here, I think Sydney's going to get ready to give a shout out to Next Bank.
Next Bank represents a new approach to banking in Iowa, expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. If you want to take your banking to the next level, Next Bank is for you. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So yeah, Wildcats, you got to win 3 games, and we really maintained our composure for those first 2, and we just came out in that second game, and there was just kind of a couple sloppy hits that that kind of fell Edco's way, and then the Wildcats have made some mistakes, and so we've got to get our mojo back. We've got to get out of this lineup here, and then we've got to put a string of points together. So you never say die.
Nope, the game's not over. So we have Preem still serving. She hits it to Fritcher. Fritcher kind of hits it to Weber, who hits it back to Fritcher. They should have probably let that one go, but they played it. So that'll be returned, and that one's going to be in. Yeah.
Yep. That was Lily was in no man's land there, and she couldn't have really done anything with that.
It looked like it was going to be but I thought it felt low. Yeah. So that's 8-18 in favor of the Vikings. So game 3 has not been our favorite game to announce because we're behind, but we're not out, and there's a good start. So Fritcher ends up hitting the ball back on the serve, and she hits it right into the front row, who tries to block it, and the ball falls in front of the blockers. So
Hoffman was there and couldn't.
Fritcher needs a run here. We need a run here. So jump serve coming from Emma. It's a good one.
Nice.
Let's see what they do with it. And
wow.
Yeah,
Hoffman hit that right down the line. They were able to, Preem was able to do something that time with the set, and Hoffman hits it right down the line, right where nobody was. So just like that, side out, 19-9 for the Vikings. This is game 3. Wildcats are up 2-0. We got to get our composure back here and try to make something happen out of this game yet.
So the ball's hit to Natalie Noonan on the serve, eventually hit back over to Elise Skelton, who finds a good spot. And Weber saves it. I'm not sure what happened in the front there. Skelton.
I think they were trying to tell her that it was going to be out, but she played it. So we're playing. Oh, there's the block. It's so hard to know, and I mean, her teammates got to talk, but it's just, when it's close, you almost have to play it.
Yep. Regardless, we just weren't ready for the hit after she hit it to the middle, and Skelton's not usually your setter, so I think she was kind of confused as to why she was going for it, but she had to. And then we just had miscommunication again. We're kind of falling apart here in game 3 in regards to communication. Had some mental errors, so we got to get rolling here. But score is 9-21 in favor of Edco. So Cats will return it here. Hennick has a good hit. Oh, it's played by.
But there it is. There's
nice.
Leah Weber there.
Yep. So ball ends up getting hit back to the Wildcats, and Leah Weber does a good job of just kind of putting it right back over the net. So 10-21. Kramer could go on a run here. We've seen her do it in the past.
Yep, we have.
Let's see what Lily can do for us. A senior leader here for the Wildcats. Ball's hit back to
I'm not sure that was a great opportunity for us to play off of
ball hit to the net.
Kind of hit the net and popped up, but we just didn't have somebody. That middle spot's the tough place to cover sometimes.
So service hit to Hennick. Hennick to Fritcher. Fritcher back to Hennick. Hennick hits it kind of deep.
There it is.
Yep, there's a point for the Cats.
Thing is, we can't just go back and forth with them. We've got to put a run together here.
Got to put a big run together here, starting right now. And the problem is, every time we've had a good serve, they've ended up with a big-time hit back. So when Lily was up serving, when Leah was up serving, and when Emma was up serving, each time we ended up not getting anything to even return it. So there it
is. Let's go.
One that we can play, and it's going to be hit to the back row by Owens. It's going to eventually be returned by Hansel, but good block by Weber.
Block. Weber and Reed were right there on Hansel, who had a big hit again, but we were there to block it. So here goes our run. This is what we need.
Yeah, so that was a good play there by Weber contesting at the net. And here we go with Hennick. Hennick hits it deep. Ball going to be killed there by Hansel. Yeah, that was a big hit again.
Yeah, they just popped the ball right up there for Hansel to hit, and she just pounded it down. Not much we could do there.
No.
Our middle hitter wasn't able to get over there to slow it down.
Giving up a few inches there, too, it looked like. She looks pretty tall.
She's listed at 5'8". She looks a little taller.
No, she's
a
couple inches taller than Sarah.
She's 5'10", yeah.
So good serve there by the Vikings, which is played by Kramer. Good dig there by Kramer. Ball's eventually hit over by Weber. Ball's going to be returned into the net, actually, by the Vikings. So therefore, 13-23 once again, though we just can't keep trading points. That's not going to result in a favorable game 3 for us. So Leah Weber's serve is nice serve.
There it is. There we go.
Good job.
Yes, there we go.
Ball's hit to the back row. Ball is returned, and then Sarah Reed just kind of bats it down. So
I think it was Hoffman, big hitter, who's in the back row right now. Maybe we could take advantage, pick on her a little bit.
And Weber has another good serve, but this one is going to be okay. It's hit hard by Hansel, but it's bumped at the net by Reed.
Oh,
and then eventually.
Oh, they blocked it. The officials don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's point.
Yeah, it went down in front of.
Yeah, I think he was confused because it honestly looked like it almost like just bounced under the net.
Yeah,
but that was
definitely
came back up. That was definitely. Oh, there's a serving error by Weber.
And Weber doesn't have very many of those.
No, she does not.
Not the time we needed one, because now it's 24-15. So.
Yeah, so the girls need a big run here to finish this up. So it's 15-24. One mistake now, and we're done for the game, and that's. There it is. So that is 15-25. Not a good game 3 for the Cats.
No,
we talked about making sure we didn't get complacent here. A little bit game 3 we looked like we might have. So yeah, we gotta fire back in this next one.
We gotta get that mojo going again there. So
2-1 on the night. We would take that at the beginning of the night. If we said we had 2-1 to start the game, we would take that. So right now we're in that situation, and we just need to win this one.
Yep, we're in the driver's seat. Just as a recap, game 1, Wildcats 25-13 won that game, and then game 2, Wildcats really good game. We're able to come out on top of game 2, 25-20, and then just in this last game here, 25-15, but the Edco Vikings pretty much dominated that game pretty much from the start.
Yeah,
so,
it got ugly there for us. We made a lot of
Wildcats
errors.
did make a little bit of a run there right at the end, but hopefully we can kind of talk it out, figure it out. The passing was a little better for Edco, and they were able to get a few more hits. Wildcats passing kind of hurt us a little bit when we weren't able to do some of the stuff, and we just were like kind of flat-footed a little bit. So hopefully we can get back here, get that momentum. I believe Edco is going to have the serve.
Yep, they should have the serve on this one. So
this
one's going to be your call, Carth.
Yep, we need to get a side out right away if we can.
So Dr. Cronin's giving us the shout out. He said he's got us loaded up on his Bluetooth.
He's got a 52-minute drive. We'll see what we can do for 52 minutes.
I like the specifics of the 52. He must have made that trip a time or two. So not 50 minutes, 52.
52 minutes.
Yep.
So Wildcats are back out here quick again. They know what they need to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it isn't like they have to have a lot of strategy. I think that last game, you mentioned it, they just kind of got complacent. We just weren't moving. We had some miscommunications. We had a couple people run into each other. Just
I still feel like watching these 3 games, we look like the more well-rounded team.
Yeah.
I mean, we really do.
Definitely.
We didn't play well in the last one, but the first 2 games, we just looked like we were more well-rounded. So that's what we got to have moving forward in this one, and we got to execute this time. So we need that first game mentality back.
Yes.
Let's get that 25-10 or whatever it was.
You have to have a short memory in volleyball.
Yeah.
You can't worry about that last one. You can't even really worry about games 1 and 2. You just got to come out and be ready. And again, Starmont's taking up almost all their time in their huddle over there. Again, their coach is down on her knee, talking to some of the kids, and I'm sure they're a little more confident, but they still have their work cut out for them. The Wildcats have to realize that we're in the driver's seat, and we know what we need to do. We just, we just have to be smart out there and be aggressive. So Eva Owens is going to sub in right away for.
I don't understand that, Carth. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why you start someone and then sub them before. I don't get that, I guess, but it has to do something with rotations, I'm sure.
But
that's my knowledge, I guess.
I don't know why you're starting somebody.
And then
but anyway, Eva Owens is going to sub in for Natalie Noonan right away, and
they did the same thing. So
yep, Preem, the setter, is going to start off the game here. They're in game 4, 0-0. There's Kramer. There we go. That's a good pass. Weber out to Skelton, hits it over, played up. Preem outside to is that
number 2?
That's Haley Roush. She hasn't had many hits tonight, but she put that one down. She did a good job with the kill there. So 1-0 Edco. Preem. Eva Owens with the pass. Skelton keeps it alive, and Fritcher just bumps it over. There's a quick,
Oh, a little mishap.
Preem tried to do the quick set to Hoffman, and Hoffman just mistimed it. So there's a error, and we'll take that. So it's side out, 1-1, and Eva Owens is going to go back and serve for the Wildcats. Eva with her jump serve, takes a little bit off. There's Hoffman, gets it up to Preem. Preem goes out to Wessels, and just a little bit of like Lacey's just reaching for that. I feel like that's not really her ball. What are you going to do when your arm's reaching out like that? Trust your back row players. So there's an error on the Wildcats, so it's going to be side out. And Hoochland comes in to serve for Edco. And Kramer doesn't move her feet, and Lily, hits off of Lily's hands and goes backwards out of bounds. So 3-0 here.
3-1.
I'm sorry, 3-1. Wildcats are down 3-1. Wildcats need to get going right here. We've got to get our mindset back.
Yeah, we've just had a couple mental errors to start this one.
So there's Lily with the pass. Nice pass. Weber back to Fritcher. It is blocked. It's up to Preem. Preem's going to back set it to Wessels. Wessels played up by what are they going to say? It was played up by Weber, and
I thought that one was hit.
no, I think it was close, but she took her hands back, and so the ball tipped the net and went out of bounds. So there's going to be another point for the Vikings. So there's a good pass. There's a set. It's outside. There's Lacey Hennick. We haven't heard from her for a while.
Yeah,
Games
we
1
haven't.
and 2, she was doing a great job, and she was kind of quiet there in Game 3, and now hopefully Lacey got some things going for us. So Wildcats down 4-2. Game 4, Wildcats lead 2-1. We got Emma Fritcher back. Emma, nice serve. There's the tight, and there's Wessels, and bad pass, and Preem was tight with it, and that was hit out of bounds by Wessels. That was deep, and Emma Fritcher's going to go back here for another serve, and there it is. The libero gets it up to Preem, outside to Hansel, and Hansel, Noonan was there, but just wasn't able to keep it in play. So there's going to be a big kill for Hansel, and it's going to be a side out, so it's 5-3. Edco's up, and Wildcats just need to chip away and get back at it. They need to keep themselves in this game. There is a serving error. We'll take that.
Smart decision by Lily to just let that one play.
Haley Roush, I believe that was Haley Roush, served it deep. And
we got to capitalize on Lily Kramer being up to serve here, Karth.
And Lily's going to go ahead and serve it. There's a little floater to Hoffman. She gets it to Preem, and then, hey, there's a nice block.
Yeah,
who was
out.
that? Was that? I couldn't tell.
I think it was Weber.
Was it
Weber?
One-on-one with
Good block.
Hansel, and Weber wins that one, and the Wildcats win the point there, 5-5, and there's Lily Kramer. Let's take advantage of her back there serving. She's just switched it up, came with a little harder hit that time. Preem outside, yes, Preem outside to Hansel. Hansel with the big swing, hits it into the net, and Wildcats are up. Here we go, 6-5.
Need another one now.
Let's go, Lily. Let's keep things going here. And there's another little more of a harder hit.
Hansel.
But Hansel, that time she hit it between Reed and Weber, who were there to slow it down a little bit, but they just couldn't slow it down enough to allow our back row to make a play. So there's a side out, 6-6. And Mariah Zittergren's come in to serve for the Vikings. And there's good hustle by Lily Kramer, and Lacey Hennick went off of Natalie Noonan's arms, and Lily Kramer gave a good chase for it and tried to keep it in play, but we just weren't able to make a play back over. So it's going to be 7-6 Edco. So right here we need to get that side out. Zittergren's going to serve again, and this time it's to Kramer. She pops it up to, there's Reed with the big hit, and that's outside, going to be to Hansel. There's a touch. Natalie Noonan pops it up, but just goes off of her. Natalie needs to just get her shoulder squared, so she's popping it back up to the net where she's got some teammates instead of backwards. So we had the blockers there, just what we talked about. We needed to slow Hansel down, but weren't able to make the play in the back row. So we've got Zitter going, kind of picking on Natalie a little bit. Natalie comes up with the good pass that time, and there's, hey, we just talked about it. Lacey Hennick, we hadn't heard from her. She was big in games 1 and 2, and now she comes through again for the side out for the Wildcats. So there's going to be a sub out there. We're going to have Owens and Reed and Weber in the front row, and we've got Fritcher and Lily Kramer and Lacey Hennick in the back row. Lacey's serving. Lacey's jump serve. They get it up to Preem. She back sets it to Hansel, and we just aren't able to stop that, and we weren't able to get a blocker out there. So it's going to be a touch, and it goes out of bounds. So Hansel, nice. The only good thing about that side out is that Hansel's now going to the back row, and she's going to be serving. So that's going to be 3 rotations. So while she's back there, we need to take advantage of this.
Absolutely, we do.
Kramer with the pass, Fritcher with the quick, and
no
Sarah Reed got blocked and just weren't able to execute on that. Just little low set a little bit. So it's 7-10. Starmont, Edco's up 10-7. This is game 4. And there's Briley Brooks with the pass, bumped up by Fritcher. And there's Eva Owens. And it's going to be Hoffman out of the middle, just keeping the ball alive. And there's that quick stuff again.
Nice.
And yeah, Sarah Reed. That time, Fritcher and Reed were able to connect on that quick hit. And so there's going to be a side out. So this is where we need to come back. We need to establish, get the lead, and then just finish this game off. And we've got Leah Weber back there. It's 8-10. Edco's up. There's the pass. Preem just has to bump it up there, and Wessels played off of Lily Kramer's shoulder, goes back over to Edco, and Wessels just bumps it over. Fritcher to
nice.
Yes, huge play. Lily Kramer, she just stuck her shoulder.
Was that Reed?
Yeah, that was Sarah Reed with the kill there, but big hit by Wessels, and Kramer just kept it alive with her shoulder, and then we come back and win the point. So Weber gets it back to Hansel. There's the set and hit by Helly, and we just weren't ready in the back row there.
Yeah.
Kind of caught us flat-footed a little bit. I think they were thinking the ball was going to go to Hoffman in the front row, but they back set it. So it's 11-9 Edco, and their libero Ella Alls is going to serve. There's Brooks, gets it to Weber, back sets it to Reed, who just tips it over. And then it's tipped back over to the Wildcats, passed by Kramer, and there's the hit by Emma Fritcher comes by and says, hey, I can hit hard too. And she knocks that ball down, and there's going to be a side out. Elise Skelton's checking in here. So we've got Skelton, Owens, and Fritcher in the front row. There's the serve by Reed. And tight.
Nice block by Eva.
Block by Eva. And there's a free ball. Wildcats need to use this. Brooks sets it up to Weber. Weber gets it to Fritcher, and Fritcher puts it down in the middle. There's a kill.
Yep,
and
that's
we
kill.
are at 11-11 right now. This is it. We've got to put our foot down on their throats and just choke them.
Violent here, Karth. This is
yes.
This is
go,
a kids
Wildcats.
program, Karth. We got to put our foot on the gas pedal, Karth.
Okay, gas pedal.
Yes.
And there's the serve by Reed, played up. There's the quick hit. Oh, geez, it looks like she broke her wrist over the net, but they're not going to call it. And there's going to be a side out for Edco. That was Hoffman. I thought it looked like she broke the plane of the net, but they're giving it to her. So Preem's going in the back to serve for Edco. And there's Emma Fritcher, just kind of a bad set, kind of got behind Emma, and she wasn't able to do much with it. So 13-11, Edco is serving here. We're in game 4. Wildcats are up 2-1. Preem with the serve. There's Eva to Weber. Weber's going to set it outside, and they're going to call 2 hits on that, so that's not what we wanted. 14-11, we got to do something right here.
So 14-11 here. Got to bounce back here if you're the Wildcats. Big possession right here.
Right now. So there's Brooks, gets it up to Weber. Weber back sets it to Owens, and
nice.
yes,
Good
there
hit.
we go, big play. Eva hits it over, and Wessel sticks her arms out to play it, and goes off of her arms and goes out of bounds. And just like that, Eva's going to go back to serve. It's 14-12. Wildcats are down, and we got to chip away here, and we got to make something happen. There's Eva. Nice serve. There we'll go. We'll take that. And that was off of Hansel's arms.
That one might have been out in the back, but they played it. So it's one of those that
we'll take it.
We'll take, absolutely.
So 14-13, Eva with her jump serve here. And there's again picking on Hansels. They set it, back set to Wessel.
There we go.
Or I'm sorry, Hoffman. Hoffman with the hitting air, hit it right into the net. And Wildcats got it 14-14 here. All right, Eva. I thought that was going deep.
Too,
yeah. So there's a set over to Wessels, and that time we shouldn't have played it. I think if we wouldn't have touched that, that may have potentially went out. But Lacey Hennig puts her hands up, and there's going to be a side out. So it's 15-14. So we work our way back up in here, and then the Vikings get the side out. So we've got to match them here, point for point. There's the serve. Kramer pops it up. Fritcher's going to set it. It's going to be a free ball by Weber. And there's the libero, pops it up, and they go outside to Hansel, who's back in. Lacey Hennig, popped it up, but went in the net. We just weren't able to do anything with that. So 16-14. Don't worry, Mr. Cronin, no hand gestures.
So they have called a timeout here. So it's been a little while since we gave a shout out to Next Bank. I think you have the thing over here, Karth. My little guide. So once again, as we always do, we'd like to thank Next Bank for sponsoring our Wildcat cast here. But each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal banking success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And the score is 16-14 after the Cats took the 2-0 lead here. We didn't have a great game 3. We've had a good game here back and forth. This is just a good battle between two good teams. So
Rose Huchlin is in serving here for the Vikings. And there goes the serve, and Kramer pops it up. Weber with the set back to Fritcher. It's blocked and then played by the Vikings. And Wessels is going to hit that. And Weber's just not.
Oh, we got it saved.
It live. I thought that was going under the net. And
that one will be a point for the Cats. That's what we need.
That's huge. I didn't see. Leah popped it up, and I thought that ball was going right under the net. Was that Fritcher who kept it alive?
Yeah, that was a big play by Fritcher there.
And I think we took the Vikings by surprise. And so we've got Fritcher back serving for the Wildcats. 16-15. Edco's up. There's a big hit by.
Yeah, that's out.
But that's out. That was a big hit by Hansel, number 6, the big sophomore hitter, and she hits that out, and just like that, it's 16-16 Wildcats. We've got Fritcher back here, and there's a nice serve, and Hansel pops it up, and it's going to be a back row hit.
Another big play by Fritcher to save it.
Saved it, and then Kramer just pushes it over. Now we've got Hansel there. Oh, and Hansel wasn't able to hit the ball hard. She just tipped it over, but we just weren't ready for that. Just kind of caught us on our heels expecting the big hit. So side out, 17-16, Wildcats down by 1. And we have Haley Roush with the serve. And Natalie Noonan, I'm not sure. She tried to stop, and it hit her foot.
Yeah.
So unfortunate event there. So it's 18-16. Wildcats need to get that side out so we can match them. There's the ball popped up by Kramer. It's going to be just tipped over by Fritcher, and then set outside. Play it. Oh, nobody was able to go after it. There was Hansel with the big hit off the block. It goes out of bounds. So Vikings just opened up a 19-16 lead here, 3 points, and Wildcats got to get it back. Roush with the serve, and that's going to go, they told her out, and it was, I tell you what, these balls, it's looking crazy. Things look like they're going to go out, and they go in, and things that look like they're in go out.
There's about 4 or 5 of those tonight that I'm just like, don't hit that,
don't hit that.
They should.
Yeah, so unfortunately, there's an ace, so it's 20-16, and there it is. Roush is getting a little tricky and was going to try to just get it right over the net, and there's a serving error, so let's take advantage of this Wildcat. 17-20, Lily Kramer's going to go back to serve. Lily serves it to Hoffman. They set outside and there's Hansel. No answer for that. That was a nice pass, and Preem had the good set to Hansel, and so it's 21-17. Wildcats need to get this side out, and we need to be able to try to battle back here. We've got Zittergroen, and she gets it to Reed, and Reed pops it up. Set back to Reed, played by the Vikings. Set outside to Hansel, and Weber was there for the block, but it just went off her hands and went out of bounds, and it's 22-17. Edco's up. We're in game 4 here. Wildcats took the first 2 games, and game 3 went to Edco. There's Natalie Noonan, and not much that Emma Fritcher could do, but she did something with it and was able to keep it in play. And now the Wildcats are on the attack again, and there's Lacey Hennick, kept alive by the Vikings, and it's just going to be a free ball. Hennick pops it up. There's the set by Fritcher, and they try to do something quick with Reed, but she just doesn't have a good angle. Played back over, though, and now Hennick, Hennick just kind of took something off of that and was able to find its way through two Vikings arms there and finds the floor. So there's a kill for Hennick, and it's 18-22.
We got to go on a run. We just haven't been able to score when we're serving.
Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 and just get back. And so Hennick with and there's Hensel, yes.
Yeah. Oh, they might have been over the net on that one. Yeah, I think she was.
Oh, just instead of letting it, was that Eva?
Eva, she reached over.
Just let it come back and pound it. But unfortunately, we're trying to force the issue. That's a tough one. And they're going to get a side out. So there's going to be an ace serve for Hansel, who's in the back row now, but it's 24-18. So Wildcats don't have any room for any more errors. We've got to get a side out right here, and then we've got to come back and try to get a win. Hansel with the pass or serve, Kramer, and there's Eva Owens with the hit, played up, and there's a quick hit to.
Oh.
They said that's out. I didn't see Kylie's call.
Know. They called it out.
But the top official called it out. All right, so the top official called it out. So there's the side out that we needed.
Yes, 7-0.
Well, the crowd says it's out, but like that matters.
Crowd's giving advice.
Yeah. So it's going to be side out, and there's Leah Weber, and there's a pass, and this is just going to be a hit out of the back row by number 2, and then Emma Fritcher with a big hit, and yeah, there's our first point now. Here we go, 2024. Wildcats don't have any room for any errors, and we got Leah Weber in the back serving, and it looks like Edco's coach is going to call timeout. So this is a nail biter here.
Yeah.
We've got, probably our strength and serving right here with Leah, and we've got Hansel's in the back row right now for Edco, but Hoffman obviously is in the front row.
We got to rattle off 6 in a row, though.
But, I've been more impressed with Hansel, and like we said, Hoffman does have a leg wrap, so I don't know if her mobility is as good as it normally is. It looks like she's got either a quad or a hamstring injury there. So we've really got to be able to do something right here. Wildcats need to be on their game and come back and get this here.
Yeah, Hansel's a sophomore, too, it says on there.
Both of them are.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty good in a couple
No
years.
kidding. Both of those hitters are. So we got Leah Weber getting ready here, coming out of the timeout. And there's the libero, gets it up, and then we do a back set to Helly. And there's Fritcher reaches out, and it's just going to be a free ball back over, but kind of a miscommunication. Now they do like a back. They try to do that back set where Helly comes out of the middle, and she kind of just comes around and uses her power, but I just don't think her mobility is there. And she hit that deep, so 21-24, the pressure's on.
Let's go, Cats.
Here. And there's a pass up to Preem, and she uses Helly, and and Helly gets it through the block, and it's going to be able to get that to drop, and that's going to be 21-25. So Wildcats take the first 2, and Edco comes back and takes the second 2. So I tell you what, this is a season of 5 games for the Wildcats.
Oh, it's like every night I feel like they go 5 games, yeah.
Yeah, we went to Springville, it was 5 games, and we came back here against Alburnett, it was 5 games, and then we played Starmont might have been 4 games the night that I called that. I think that was 4 games, and now we're back to 5 games here. So game 5, and
yeah, game 5 is big here for us.
Yep,
I mean,
you're only going to play to 15, and I tell you what, we were in that game. There was just one little rotation where the Edco Vikings were able to make a little bit of a break, and they got up by like about 2 points, and then we'd tie it back up, and we just could never get the lead to kind of build on, and then they'd get another gap of 2 points, and then we'd get the serve and get back, and so coach doesn't have much to say again. I mean, I think it just comes down to execution.
That's all it is at this point.
There's 2 minutes here in between games, and the Wildcats are out there already ready to go. Edco again is getting some instructions from their coach, and
yeah, we just got to get a little bit of that momentum back that we had in the first game. Then they're the same way. They're breaking right now too. So they're like,
they're ready.
What? Let's go.
Yeah.
But
we'll give one more quick shout out here to Next Bank. From your first checking account to your first car, first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between. Next Bank people relate because they're your people. They are in your community, sitting beside you at the kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Next Bank, conveniently located in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And again, we appreciate everything that Next Bank does for our Wildcat Sports broadcast and the programs and just the other organizations and at our school that they help with, and the community in general. So
looks like we're going to be serving to start game 5. Let's see if we can get on a little run here to start it. We got Natalie Noonan up serving for the Wildcats. That ball is eventually going to be hit out of bounds there by Hansel, I believe. Nope, sorry, that was Hoffman on that one. But that's a good start. We needed to start with a 1-0 lead here.
You know
it. Good play there by the Wildcats. Good serve by Noonan. Next play is hit over, and they're going to set her again. This time she just tries to tap it. Yeah, so
I think we're getting in her head a little bit.
Hoffman went from a deep hit to kind of a tap, and on the second one, she's short. The first one, she's long. So that's 2-0 lead, 2-2 on the night, and momentum shifted. Jim gets a little excited again, so Noonan with another good serve. This time they're going to hit to their libero, who's going to hit it to Lily Kramer, our libero, who hits it to Weber. Weber to Hennick. Hennick, good spot. Ball's going to be returned by number 2, and Roush hits that one back to Kramer. Kramer's unable to get underneath it, so 2-1. But that's okay.
Yeah,
that was the start we needed. Yep. So
hopefully they have a little confidence there.
So let's see what we can do on their serve. They will have Preem serving. They have Hansel in the back row, which is interesting.
That's nice. Yeah.
So Noonan hits it to Fritcher. Fritcher to Hennick again. Hennick with another good spot, but it's going to be returned and just kind of tapped over, but Weber gets under it. And, Skelton went to hit it and just kind of
took her eye off it. I think maybe she was seeing if there was a blocker right in front of her and what she could do or not.
Just kind of missed it. So regardless, it's 2-2. Preem serving. And that one served to Kramer. Kramer to Weber. Weber to Fritcher, and there's the point. We needed that. That was a big hit. So I think that brings up Fritcher to serve here. So let's see if she can get one of those aces we've been. I think she got 1 or 2 on the night.
We need to put about 3 or 4 serves together here.
Yeah. So the score is 3-2 in favor of your Cats. Emma Fritcher with the serve is hit to the back row, kind of out of position for.
There it is.
Oh, the Vikings do end up recovering it.
We blocked.
I'm doing more O's in that than I am announcing, but at the end of the day, the Vikings end up hitting it into the net, and we block it, and then it goes out of bounds.
Dang,
so
we were there, too.
Great contest. That's what you got to do. It just bounced the wrong way for us here. So that will bring up number 9, Hoochland, for the Vikings to serve, and the ball's going to be hit back to Hennick here. And Hennick has a great spot again, but Hoochland makes a great play on it. So Vikings will return it to Fritcher, Fritcher to Weber, and then Hennick. Hoochland gonna hit it to Hansel. Hansel
got up that time.
So Hansel hits that one. Yeah, that was a big hit there.
She got up.
I thought she was still in the back row. I didn't think she could hit there, but she's not. So
nope, she rotated into the front.
Yep.
So
brings Hoochland back up.
We need a side out.
Got a side out here. Noonan. Noonan to Fritcher. Fritcher to Hennick.
There
good spot.
Go.
Good
Lacey
spot.
Hennick went down the line that time.
And that'll be 4-4. So we're gonna close battle here in Game 5. Expect nothing less after a few of these games. So 2 blowouts, 2 close games, and Game 5. Let's hope for a good one.
Yeah.
And a Wildcat win. So Lily Kramer's up to serve here. She hits it to Hansel. Looks like they're going to return it to Hansel. No surprise there. We get underneath it. Hansel hits it back, and that's a point.
I mean, that was we were trying to make a play off of their misplay, and we just got a little out of confusion, and Hansel just got lucky and be able to make another hit right there.
So Roush is serving now for the Vikings. It's 5-4 in favor of the Vikings, and that ball is hit to Noonan. It's kind of a little weird one here, but we end up returning it with Hennick. We were kind of out of position there, but regardless, we got it. And then they hit it to Helly, who ends up hitting it in the net. So 5-5.
Let's go, Wildcats.
And we have Eva Owens checking in. We have Lacey Hennick serving for the Wildcats here. Let's see if she can, kind of be a veteran presence here for the Cats. We have
one of
those
replay.
Yep. So a ball kind of rolls onto the court. We have the little kid kind of lost control of the ball.
Yep.
So not a great time for that.
No.
But that's athletics, especially at the high school, middle school level. So here we go again. Hennick gets a redo. So good serve by Hennick.
Yes.
That one's deep, so we'll take it.
Preem set Hoffman, who's in the back row, and Hoffman just got behind that one and sent it into the wall.
Hennick with the jump serve once again, as they're going to set it up to Hansel here. That's what I'm telling you, and that's what's coming. But she just kind of tips it over, and then Fritcher back to Fritcher, who ends up hitting it back, and the Vikings are out of position, and that's a point. So
that was awesome. I don't know why Hansel just tipped that over, and we were there and were able to make a play on it, and Emma Fritcher made him pay.
7-5 Cats, 2-2 on the night. So let's see if we can capitalize. So here comes Hennick with the jump serve again, and it's a good one, and it's gonna put the Vikings out of position. That's an ace, Garth.
Is that
8-5.
Is that number 2? Is that
that's Roush? Yep. So Roush
couldn't
just
handle that pass, and it went out.
So Hennick again. Hennick being a leader here for the Cats, and she puts. Edco's going to set it up to number 14. They end up hitting it back to Fritcher. Fritcher to Owens. Owens hits it hard, but it's played, and it's going to come back to Hansel, but it's blocked.
And Emma!
Should have let that one go. But that's tough. Yep. You're trying to make a play.
Yeah. And Lacey was there, and she took a little off that hit to go over the block, and then all of a sudden Emma just comes out of nowhere. But
that's one of those that's a lot easier to see from right here than it is in the play. So 8-6 in favor of the Wildcats. They have Zittergrun up to serve. That's a really good serve, and that's an ace.
Yep. That's all right. We can get it back right here.
Yep. So that one, the Cats are just not ready for here. So 8-7. Zittergrun will serve back to Weber, and then this one goes to Fritcher. Fritcher, Reed kind of just a little tip, and it's just going to be free-balled over, so the Cats got to capitalize on this one.
Come on.
But we're out of position, too, so eventually it's hit to Reed. Reed just kind of pushes it over, and this one's going to come back to Hansel, no surprise, and she hits it hard, but it's deep. Yes, it is deep.
Our blockers weren't able to get anything going there, and she just hit it deep. Huge break for the Wildcats.
Yeah, she had a big cut on that one too. So that brings up Leah Weber, our top serve efficiency. She just kind of hits it over.
It's a little floater.
And there's a big hit by
Hansel
again. Some
coming
backside
out of
now.
The weak side there, but it's 9-8, and Wildcats are up, but Hansel goes to the back row. So right here, it's huge. I know Hoffman's a big hitter too, but Hoffman just hasn't had the night that Hansel has. So this is the opportunity for the Wildcats.
So the ball is served and is eventually going to be just pushed over by Sarah, and then.
And Hansel, there it is.
Nope, that time it was Hoffman who kind of just pushed it over.
Instead of going with the big hit, she tipped it, and we were prepared for a big hit and just tipped it over the blocker. So that's a disappointment there.
9-9. So here goes Hansel serving. She's out of the front row, which is what we need. Lily Kramer with the mishap on the serve. That doesn't happen very often, and that puts us out of position 10-9 in favor of the Vikings. So our early lead is gone.
Yep.
Momentum shifted to the Vikings.
So right now, Wildcats have to, we were in a great position, and we've got Hansel in the back row, and Hoffman, really wasn't in position to make that hit, and she just tipped it, and we just weren't ready for that tip, and so now we've had a couple of passing errors. So the Wildcats can do it. They just got to get their feet, talk, move their feet, and get out of this rotation here. And like I said, Hansel's going to still be in the back row.
Yeah, that is big for us here. So moving forward to the next few, she can't make those big plays from the back row that she's been killing us with in the front row. So we've got to capitalize if we want to win this one here on these next few hits here. So got to get out of her serving here first, but. So Hansel's up to serve. Ball's getting ready to be played, and there it is. And Hannah Kramer hits it to Fritcher, who makes a play. Reed eventually gets it over, and they just hit it back over, which is a great spot for us.
But then we just had a bad set.
Then we're out of we're both talking here. So that ball's hit to Hannah Kramer to Weber to Reed, and Reed just kind of hits it deep. No big hits here for either team, and then they end up hitting it over. We're going to play it. So ball is just free balled over by Reed, and good play there by
Hoffman. Just tipped it over, and Eva couldn't anticipate, I think we're all kind of sneaking over to try to block Hoffman.
Yep, so that brings back Hennick's going to go back in here for the Wildcats, and they're going to serve right at her. And the ball is then hit over to Fritcher, who hits it into the net. So that's 12-9. It was a good play. We just hit it into the net there. So Hansel is still serving. This is where we wanted her to be in the back row, but we got to get out of this serve here, Karth. So that ball's hit to Fritcher to Weber. Weber hits it to Hennick and back over. Then the ball's returned to the Wildcats and is pushed over by Fritcher. It's going to be then returned and scored. Yeah, number 13 Hoffman again. So that's a 4-0 run here for the Vikings.
We're just not being able to take advantage when they're just tipping it back to us. We're just not able to take advantage and get a kill, and then unfortunately.
Yeah, so we had a 2-0 lead on the night. We're not capitalizing at this point. So there's a good one by Reed. We need to get back in this here. So
nice play by the Vikings.
They stayed in it. Ball's hit over to Hennick. Hennick to Weber. Weber's going to hit it to Owens, who hits it deep, and that's 14-9. We're 1 point away from this one being over. So the Wildcats are in a bad spot here, but they're not out yet. So the ball's hit to Hennick. Hennick to Weber, and now they're out. That'll do it. So 15 to 9 in game
3.
Game 3. So not a great start to the night, and we just didn't capitalize on the momentum. So
it's kind of one of those things that sometimes, like, we've been down, we got beat by Alburnett, and then we came back.
Yep.
It's just kind of one of those things. I mean, both you and I even said that third game, it's like we just kind of lost our we didn't lose our momentum. We just lost our aggressiveness, our mindset. We kind of got a little, maybe overconfident is the word to say. I don't know if that's what you want to say. But, against a team like this, you've got to just keep it going, forward. You can't let up. They're 15-9 for a reason.
Yeah.
So, and that was a good, good effort. I think, even though we got beat here, to me, I guess as a coach, what I would do is say, hey, we just played with one of the better teams in the conference, even though their record's 2-2, and now we're 3. We both have the same record now, whatever. But we just competed with a team that has 2 awesome hitters. 2
of the top hitters in the conference that I've seen.
And if you don't have those 2 hitters, and maybe we win whoever this is 3 straight. So I think the Wildcats are there. It's just a matter of just consistency and playing all 3 of those games, understanding that you got to come out and play those 3 games. So another 5-game set, but unfortunately the Wildcats came up just a little bit short. And so if just a kind of a recap here, Wildcats win game 1, 25-13. They win game 2, 25-20. Then they dropped game 3, 25-15. And then they dropped game 4, 21-25. And then in game 5, we were right there. And then we got into that one rotation, and we lost that last game 9-15. So unfortunately, the Wildcats go down, and a tough one tonight, 3-2 to Edco. I know Tanner's got to get things cleaned up, but so for Tanner, and I'm Cindy McCarthy, and we would just want to thank everyone for listening to tonight's broadcast. Our next broadcast is going to be this Friday night, October 11th, when the Wildcat football team travels up to Elkader to take on the Central Warriors. And the kickoff will be at 7 o'clock, so we'll be going live shortly before that. So go Cats.
Go Cats.